Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WFSO Bucks Talk. I might as well just call this like a special edition because not only we going to talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and Milwaukee Bucks game, my two favorite teams in the NBA, Milwaukee being number one. Um, so not only we going to talk about that, and as I was telling people from the live, we're going to do like a double episode of the Barrett's drinking game. Um, Like I said, I got my White Claw. There's no alcoholic, so if any of y'all want to play along like the drinking game, hey Mike G, what's going on? So it'll be right after we done talking about the Timberwolves and Bucks game. We will do I think it's two videos, Bears Bucks breakdown that we're gonna watch, and just mainly if y'all don't know the rules to the night drinking game, every time he mentions Chris Middleton or Kyle Kuzma, hey there Bobby Bananas, that's a good name. Um, Like every time you mention Kyle Kuzma or Chris Middleton, you take a drink, shot, or whatever your poison is. But if you're a kid or you're a teenager, get like water, juice, or soda. So just make it more easier. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of this game first. One of the biggest comebacks that I don't know if it was in history, but I knew it was in the season because the Bucks had like some comebacks in certain games, and yeah, this is just none like no other. And plus, Bobby Portis returned too and made like a big difference from the bench, which they kind of needed like a big man bench help. So the takeaway were like they played Brook Lopez a little bit in the fourth quarter, but they decided just to not play him for the rest of the game, which was kind of a smart move. And also, if you got a center that's supposed to be rebounding but can't rebound, or just don't try, because he's like the no, he's probably the second tallest guy up there next to Rudy Gobert, which is 7'4", and he can get a lot of rebounds. So it's like I guess only like Rudy Gobert's weakness is like he can't shoot he can't shoot the three. So that's mainly like his weakness. And this is sad that Brooks' weakness is like he can't rebound. So I don't know. It's just sad, and I don't know. Maybe they. Oh crap, that was close. Oh, and probably y'all probably gonna hear me in the background because I'm watching the oh, top of the ninth. Brewers and Rockies game is going on, so it's like the top of the ninth. And so yeah, I know after all this, then the bottom of the ninth, then the game is over. If somehow Colorado makes a comeback, but just like I was saying, they had the lead in the first quarter, and I apologize for not knowing much of the first quarter because I slept through majority of it. I don't know why. It's just like suddenly I just passed out and woke up like towards the end of the first, so I just missed majority of it. Like only saw the beginning of the end. Just say that. So at one point the Bucks were up 16-15. Then it just went like kind of downhill from there until maybe a little bit of the third. Then the rest of the like a little bit of the third, like ending of the third. Then the rest of the I would say all over the fourth quarter that they made this big comeback. And at one point I think it was like 38-8 run for most of that quarter. Cause like at one point it was like about like a minute left, and Timberwolves only scored like 8 points in that quarter. Then I think DiVincenzo like hit a three, then he made a layup, and yeah, so it was kind of like downhill from there. So it's good to have this element, and I'm like happy Kevin Porter Jr., one of the biggest steals in the trade deadline. Probably be the biggest steal period in that trade deadline this year. Um, But I know some people gonna get upset, Kyle Kuzma, but they didn't have him in the they haven't played. He didn't play the fourth quarter at all. So I think they kind of see like that sometimes he's good and some days he's not. So I don't know, but I'm still saying that it's still a good pickup for them to get Kyle Kuzma. So because he can learn, and you got to like a decent contract album. And for people that saying the money he's going to get is going to keep going up, no, if y'all really look at his contract, especially what they was posting online, the his contract is like going is go down. And I think he's only gonna make like what was it like 21 million. He's making 23 this year, and next season he'll be making 21. Then that third year he's making 18, and I think he got a player option after that. So the Bucks can do what they want like after that and stuff like that. But I think they're gonna keep him and probably just work with him over the summer or have him like work out with Giannis or something like that because it looked like he could be that Giannis type player. But it's just like at times some players do it too, but I think he do it the most that he forces shots up, and that's like a big problem if you like forcing your shots and you don't make anything. Like he's good around the paint, so I can give him that. And his free throws got to be worked on, and yeah, he's got to be a better rebounder. Because like I said, one game he had like what was it like 15 and 13? Yeah, 15 and 13, and that was great. But there's gonna be times he's gonna be playing the power forward, so he really got to like help with the rebounding, and that's one of the like issues. Then now we got Bobby back, and he actually helps with like rebound, and then, of course he didn't play that bad of a defense tonight too, like normal. So yeah, this is something different, and I'm glad he did work out with the team like when he was suspended, but you know so it all worked out at the end. And before I get to the quarter numbers, well, there was some news today. I was gonna do like a video on it today, but I was like, you know what? I'll just do it all in like one go. That of course we know we're gonna get Jericho Sims back starting the first round of the playoffs, which will be next weekend. So whenever whoever they face or whatever, so it's just like a wait and see. Just put it that way. And other good news that Damian Lillard will be back in the first round of the playoffs. So whatever treatment they did is working, and I guess if they catch it right away, they can just I guess get rid of it real quickly. But they said having the blood cough on your calf is like very difficult to the one on your shoulder, like Victor Wembanyama got that took him out for the rest of the season. But yeah, but I think it's like they just called it like enough for Victor Wembanyama that it has to be rest of the season to take that. And then I don't know if it's got something to do with height and weight, but it's just one of those things that you ain't gonna know just yet. But anyways, that's good news. Had Damian Lillard back in the like playoffs, and also Jericho Sims like a good rebounder and somewhat of a rim protector, like in block shots. So, and plus quicker than Brook Lopez. But anyway, let's get to these quarter status. I don't know why I said quarter stats. I'll just say like scores, quarters, not quarter numbers. I should say. You got Minnesota up and they're tied for the highest they score in a quarter with 28 to Milwaukee's 23. Then second quarter, same thing with Minnesota. The highest they. Oh no, that's not the highest they score in a quarter. I'm sorry. That's 28, and the lowest that the Bucks has scored 22. Okay, third quarter was the highest that the Timberwolves scored, 34 to Bucks 25. Then, like I said, parts of the like ending up the third quarter, then all the way through the fourth quarter, it was just like all Bucks from there. Like the highest that they scored in the game in this quarter, 40. Then you got Minnesota scoring the lowest in the quarter of 13. So yeah, yeah. Then the fourth quarter, Minnesota just fell apart. Like shots wasn't hitting. It's kind of like same thing like with our situation. Like but it's like kind of like second and parts of the third quarter. Like our shots was not like hitting. Then finally got the momentum and they were starting to hit. So that was good news. So that let's move into the team status. We'll start with Minnesota first. Um, oh wow, they had a lot of players they didn't play, so they was really healthy. And oh, thanks, Nunar. If y'all end up getting the opportunity on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Please try and get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So hopefully we will get there. So yeah, and for you guys that's watching on Twitch, like spread the word about the channel. We do like live content like almost every day. So you can get your chance, check it out. And of course we're gonna need more followers as well. So please try to promote the channel for us. And also on YouTube, y'all get the word around as well. Okay, now back to the team status. We'll start with Minnesota. 41 to 89 with 46.1% from the field. It's somewhat okay with the 3-point shooting. 13 of 40 with might just say 33% from three. And I didn't know Anthony Edwards was shooting 3-pointers that bad, and like he was just killing us with like his mid-range shots and stuff like that. Although it doesn't look like it. Okay, Brewers finally won 7-1. Okay, so I can change that, and I know there's another game going on right now. Let's see. Let's skip through that. How can you do like a gaming like playing Willis or Fortnite and you can make money to try doing the gaming or do whatever you want? Yeah. I used to do that. Like I can like play my game on my phone, and also people can when I do a video, it could be like on the laptop at the same time. That's one way you can do it. I have it record, then play it. Or if you talk about like like with the Xbox, PlayStation, and stuff like that, that is out of my field at the moment because I still to this day don't even know how to do it. Because what I just do, if I do it live, I just like turn the camera around and I just like start talking and just show the screen. So that's just simpler for me to do it like that. But there's other ways that you can do it too. But there's also YouTube videos that you can look up that will help you with that as well. So just like put down like how to streaming while recording a YouTube video or a Twitch video at the same time. So but Twitch is a little bit different. I think you gotta set it up in different ways. And YouTube, I'm not sure how to do it, but it's just like it's mainly you just gotta just look for videos that says YouTube videos on recording gameplay or something like that. So that's okay. The Warriors and Suns are playing. So probably get to that game in a minute. Might just say a few minutes. But anyways, free throws. Oh wow, they really didn't attempt that many free throws. 8 or 9 with might as well say that's 89% from free throws. 10 offensive rebounds, which I'm not even surprised. But the total of 42 rebounds. 25 assists, which is pretty good. Yes, steals was a little low, and I think they just didn't have that many turnovers. Bucks, but we'll look at that in a minute. Three blocks, and I think one of them had to be at least Rudy Gobert had to have one block, but 13 turnovers. That's okay, but it's not that good. Anyway, let's go to looking at the Bucks. Oh, okay, you already know, but yeah, I know, but there may be certain gaming that I probably would do. I gotta figure out how I can get it back from my phone to like record the video and stuff like that from the laptop. Cause I did it at one time, and I know I can do it again. I just gotta look for the app on my phone. So like gaming wise for like Xbox and PlayStation and stuff like that. That I don't know how to do, and when I try to look for like do that, it just got very confusing. So yeah. Anyways, Bucks with 40 out of 84. Might have said that's 48% from the field. Not that good 3-point shooting either from the Bucks. 12 for 36 and with 33.3% from three. That's not good. And I think it's just some players like some of the benches and stuff just had like a bad shooting night when it comes to the three. Yeah, it's just crazy. Um, but like I said, kind of insane. 18, 25 from the free throw was 72%. We already know, like, Giannis has his on days and off days on the free throw, but, today it was just like one of his, he was off for free throws, so, yeah, kind of sucks. Um, wow. That's a big improvement, especially having Bobby Portis on there as well for the rebounding. 11 offensive rebounds, so, why don't you do, like, challenges? Like, what you mean by like challenges? Like explain, like, cause that could mean anything. Um, like I said, I'm glad the 11 offensive rebounds, so that's pretty good. Run offensive rebound over Minnesota, but they did get out rebound by Minnesota by like one rebound. Um, 27 assists, which is pretty good, and most of it does have something to do with Giannis. Like I said, if you start doing passing like the ball and rely on your team, you would get somewhere. And, it got him these wins as of late, especially like his third straight triple double. So yeah, 8 steals, which is pretty good. Thank Kevin Porter Jr. for that. Only 2 blocks, and we know it wasn't from Brooks, so I guess we can toss that to the side. Um, Only 11 turnovers, so not too bad. Oh, you talk about like playing like Call of Duty or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I love Call of Duty, but me playing it like through like showing it and stuff like that, I have no interest in that, and that's not me. I do things that I'm passionate about, like with basketball. But I am gonna try to do like some more gaming, like do it from my phone to my laptop. That I'm gonna, end up recording. So I will start doing that, but like doing, like third person shooter games and stuff like that. Like I don't mind playing it, but for just the have it like recorded and stuff like that. I just have no interest in doing that. Like what I talk about on this channel, I talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. I talk about wrestling. I talk about uh sorry, I'm losing my train of thoughts. comic book movies and TV news. I do that, and I also talk about developments that's going on here and where I'm at in Milwaukee. So that's all the stuff that I do. But I try to tell people like let me know if y'all want me to talk about Milwaukee Brewers or talk about Green Bay Packers, and also maybe talk about some Minnesota Timberwolves games. So like I said, Minnesota Timberwolves is my second favorite team in the NBA. So people get interested in that, just got a call for it. But like third person shooter games, yeah, that's I can play it. I don't have a problem with it, but it's just like trying to do it and record and show it. It's just not my thing. But yeah, and surprisingly, yeah, only 11 turnovers, but I think they had like 5 turnovers in the half, and it was just like the third quarter. So baseball challenges, possible. Like if I find the right game to play, like on my phone, I don't mind doing that. But it just all depends on the game and like how's it played. So that's something if y'all like interested in that. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. It's just gonna take me some time to do it. So like maybe give me like a few weeks or something like that. Then I probably would do like loading up more videos and stuff like that. Anyways, let's get to player status. We're gonna start with Minnesota first. Okay, so a little bit of differences. I am okay. I can see why Dante DiVincenzo did not start. He was playing like he should have, but well, and that's just Minnesota. But anyways, you had Julius Randle with 9 points and ooh, only one steal, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. So kind of like very close to a triple double for himself. But also had 1 offensive rebounds. Perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw, 1 of 3 from three, but 3 of 8 from the field. Yeah, he's look like he's not feeling well with Minnesota. So I wouldn't be surprised in the offseason they will try to trade him to somebody. Jay McDaniels with 13 points, 1 block, 3 assists, 5 rebounds with 1 offensive rebounds. Are you talking like wrestling? Oh, I think you tried to say wrestling cars or just anything about wrestling. So that's mainly what I talk about. Just anything about wrestling. Just anything. Anyways, Dave McDaniels, 13 points, 1 block, 3 assists, 5 rebounds with 1 offensive rebounds. Just 1 of 1 from the free throw, 0 of 3 from three, but 6 of 12 from the field. Wow, Rudy Gobert did not have a good game, and yikes, he did not have a good game, but he did have 9 rebounds. That's crazy, and you think he's like the tallest person on there that he will be dominating. Well, anyways, Anthony Edwards with I'll say he led the team with 25 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 4 assists, 7 rebounds with 1 offensive rebound. Perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw, 2 of 11 from three, and 10 of 27 from the field. So not that much of a good shooting night for him. Yeah, there's two people that's worth talking about from the bench. That's Naz Reid and their six-man and Dante DiVincenzo. Both did very well in this game. Who got the lowest plus minus? Okay, that would be Mike Conley. Ouch. But anyways, you got two players from the bench that got the highest plus minus with +7. So that's both Naz Reid and Dante DiVincenzo. But Naz Reid had 17 points, 1 steal, 3 of 6, 4 rebounds with 1 offensive rebounds, 3 of 7 from three, and 7 of 12 from the field. So probably gonna turn this on a little bit. So you'll probably hear this and me talking at the same time. But 7 of 12 from the field.
Portis has been out since February 20th. That's because he's positive for tramadol, an opioid used to relieve moderate pain. And he wasted no time getting back in his bag here in the first. Gives the nice hook shot to fall. Then next Bucks possession, Portis working to give and go with KPJ. Bobby Bucket.
Nice.
Double in his return. 18 points, 10 rebounds on the Bucks.
Oh, 18 and 10. Okay.
But holy fourth-quarter rally, Batman. Walking on a 34-3 run capped off by this.
Yeah, I like that alley-hoop.
Jam. Bucks top the T-Wolves. 110-103. Let's check out our Rosen Automotive scoreboard. The Bucks with
Nice.
the largest comeback victory of the season, erasing a
Yeah, no kidding.
second half deficit.
Yeah.
They missed some shots, but we created a lot of turn.
I'll listen to you later because you have you talking on the Bucks channel. But anyways, Dante DiVincenzo led the bench with 24 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds with 1 offensive rebound, 0-1 from the free throw, so that's unlike him. 6 of 10 from 3, but yeah, he was hitting his threes. Probably was like the only person on the team that was hitting their threes. But also had 9 of 15 from the field. So yeah, might well say he like used to playing in Milwaukee, and did get a ring when he was with us. Although he was injured like most of the playoffs. But yeah, everybody from the Bucks, from their starting, well, their big four, then you got like their bench actually contribute to this game. So well, except for Ryan Rollins, but I don't think he get that much of a pass or a shot or anything like that. So kind of sucks, but you know, what more can you do? Like when he's like getting more playing time and stuff like that, we'll see. But sorry. Okay, Torian Prince had a bad shooting night. 7 points, only 1 turnover, 1 assist, 2 rebounds, 1 of 6 from 3, and 3 of 9 from the field. Okay, so I'm sorry, but Anthony Edwards had the game high. So, and now Giannis has the team high, and the highest plus minus with plus 26. But he had 23 points, no turnovers, none. That's amazing. 1 block, 1 steal, 10 assists, 13 rebounds. His 3rd consecutive triple-double. So, yeah, that's something. Especially that big game that he did against Philadelphia. That was a big one. Who had 30, 20, and 15. Yeah, that's huge. Anyways, he had 3 offensive rebounds. But Portly shot 4 of 11 from the free throw, sorry. 1 or 2 from 3, so not too bad. And 9 to 15 from the field. So yeah, they was just at them all game. So that's probably why. Came good, YouTube. I'll give you tips like gaming or something, but whatever you want. But I can give you tips, make you a future gamer. I'm okay with like being a gamer because like although I haven't played anything much as of late except for what's on my phone, and I've been playing games since the regular Nintendo years. You probably don't know how old I am, but yeah, I'm just say I'm middle aged, and my birthday will be coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow. But yeah, I'm already a gamer. I just haven't played that much as of late, except for games on my phone. Anyways, let's keep going. Kyle Kuzma actually didn't do that bad, but he just didn't play enough. Only 25 minutes, but had like 10 points. But he doesn't have the lowest plus minus, so can't get him on that. But anyways, he had 10 points. But yeah, you can get him on turnovers because he had the tie with the most with 3. 4 rebounds, so that's something you gotta get a little bit better with. Only 1 offensive rebound, 2 of 2 from the free throw, so free throw got at least it was good enough today. 0 of 2 from 3, so whatever, but 4 of 8 from the field, so not too bad. So not much to complain about, and it's pretty good. And Brook Lopez, plus been our so-called second option, and it looks like any second or third option is from our bench. That's crazy. Anyways, Brook Lopez with 10 points, but had the lowest plus minus with -18. 2 turnovers, 1 assist, and like I said, the rebounding is the problem. Only have 2 rebounds. 2 of 5 from three, which is okay, and 4 of 9 from the field, which is okay as well. Okay, okay, and I can just turn back to the other game and see what's going on with that. Where is it? There it is. Our bench, although Gary Trent Jr. had like a bad shooting night, but he didn't do that bad, and so did AJ Green. So all our bench players, really scored a lot. So let's just get to it. Bobby Portis on his return had 18 points, a plus minus a plus 10, 1 block, 2 steals, 1 assist, 10 rebounds, so a double double with 3 offensive rebounds. 2 of 2 from the free throw, 2 of 6 from three, but 7 of 15 from the field. So not too bad. Thanks. I appreciate that. Let's see. Gary Trent Jr. with 7 points. The plus minus is plus 18. 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 of 1 from the free throw, 2 of 6 from the three, and 2 of 8 from the field. So yeah, he didn't have a great shooting night, but minutes kind of step up a little bit. Kevin Porter Jr. led the bench with 21 points, has plus 18 as well for his plus minus. Yeah, sadly, but 3 turnovers, 5 assists, 5 steals. I'm sorry. Yeah, 5 steals, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, which is huge. Although he was 0-2 from 3, but he was perfect 9 of 9 from the free throw, and total of 6 of 9 from the field. AJ Green at his best, so can't blame him for that. 9 points and had plus minus, the second highest plus minus with plus 22. Just only 1 turnover, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, 3 of 6 from 3, and 3 of 6 from the field. So, like I said, one of the biggest comebacks they had this season, but probably be the biggest comeback of this season, in my opinion. Unless, whatever happened with the next 3 games, we'll see. Anyways, final score, Minnesota 103, Milwaukee 110. And Milwaukee did win the season series between the two. The game before the All-Star game, Bucks did beat the Timberwolves 103-101. And I think this was without Giannis and Dame. I think they both were out for that game. But, yeah, things changed differently this game. So, yeah. And the next game, they got the New Orleans Pelicans back here in Milwaukee, and I will be at that game. So you're probably going to get like a little bit of a delay for doing the video. So, be patient with me. But yeah, I guess there were some, implications in this game too. So we was hoping, the Pacers were going to lose, but it looked like they were, but somehow they came back in the fourth quarter and Washington, fumbled. Right now with the third quarter is Warriors over the Suns 86-54. And I think if the Suns lose this game, they probably will be eliminated from the playoffs or play-in. Halftime, Spurs down by 2 against the Clippers, 52-54. Obviously, Memphis beat Charlotte. Not a surprise, 124-100. Although Chicago did have the lead earlier on, but Cleveland came back in the second half, so Cleveland won 113-135. Like we mentioned, the Wizards lost to the Pacers 98-104, which kind of hurt our chances a little bit to try to get that 4th seed. Atlanta lost to Orlando 112 to 119, which this probably be like the preview of the play-in tournament for, well, the play-in part for Atlanta Orlando. So probably by the end of the season they might end up have to face each other for like the seventh spot. Um, let's see what else. So it looks like Brooklyn did beat New Orleans 114 to 119. In overtime, Boston beat New York. So when the games between Boston, with New York between Boston and Cleveland, they are, I think they said they 0-8. Oh, thanks, man. I hope you have a good day as well. Um, but yeah, Boston beat New York in overtime, 119 to 117. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Uh, then the Thunder beat the Lakers, which was earlier on that the Lakers were, had the lead at one point, and I guess OKC came back 136 to 120. So not gonna go through stats, but we are gonna go through standings. So we're gonna do that before we start this drinking game. So we're gonna do that in a bit. But yeah, I can move my camera back. There we go. Let's start with the East first, and of course, the East. We know who's not going to be in it, but we know who's going to be in the play-in, and looks like we know who's going to be in the playoffs in general. So Cleveland, finally won the game. Of course, they might say they clinched the conference and also clinched the division. Boston also clinched the division, won their last three. New York, of course, clinched the playoff berth, lost their last game. And, wow, this could be interesting between New York and Indiana, but I think New York has the tiebreaker, if that's the case. So I guess Indiana gotta hope they lose like all three games and Indiana wins like three games. So it's gonna be crazy. So but for our point of view, since we're in the fifth seed, we just gotta hope that the Pacers lose their have like a big 3-game winning streak from this point on. Yeah, 3-game losing streak. I mean, if they do, Bucks most likely could get the fourth seed if they win the next 3 games, which I'm pretty confident that they will. Then Detroit, lost their last 2. I think if Detroit lose like one more game, I think most likely, and Milwaukee wins their game on Thursday, most likely but then again, the final 2 games will be against Detroit anyway, so at least they win one game, like they win New Orleans, then beat Detroit on Friday, what would be their final back-to-back of the season. They would still have the advantage over Detroit. So this would be interesting. Anyways, you got Orlando Magic won their last 3. Of course, they're in the play-in bracket. Atlanta, of course, lost their last game. They're in the play-in bracket. Chicago lost their last game, or they're tied with Miami for the 9th, with Chicago, I guess, having the advantage. And Miami, of course, won their last game. And, of course, Toronto, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Charlotte, and Washington eliminated from playoff contention. And Washington Wizards, I think they got the second lowest. They got the lowest. I forgot. I can't remember. I forgot to call it. That's bad. Well, they got the lowest record in the NBA. So mostly they called them that, and they lost their last 3. And Philadelphia, wow, they lost their last 12. Yeah, that's huge. So they probably got to go back to the drawing board. Just put it that way. Um, like we said, the Phoenix and Warriors game still ain't over yet, so things may change. Oklahoma City Thunder, of course, clinched the conference and clinched with the right now. Yeah, they got the best record in the NBA, right? Yeah, they do. So, and they're probably gonna end up having that regardless if they end up losing, next 2 or 3 games, something like that. I think they still would got it. At least if they win one more, they'll still be there. Houston, of course, clinched the playoff berth, but I don't think they clinched it. Oh yeah, because Oklahoma and Houston are in the same division. Lakers lost their last game. Denver lost their last 4. They're tied with Memphis for the 4th. So for Memphis and Denver, it could go either way. With Memphis winning their last 3, Clippers winning their last 4. They're in 6. So, oh wow, if this was over today, it'll be the LA matchup, which we all kind of wanted. And at one point, we was hoping these two would have face each other in the finals, but that didn't happen. They end up losing to Phoenix, and it was the Clippers and the Suns. So in the Western Conference Finals in 2021, so Clippers or Suns that we end up facing, it would have been good either way. Um. Anyways, Golden State Warriors. Okay, of course they lost their last game. They're tied with the Clippers right now. So I think if Golden State does win this game, it looks like they will. Um, Most likely Golden State will get that. I think they'll get that 6th seed at the moment. And of course Minnesota. Of course they lost to us. Um, Kings won their last 3, which most likely I think there's no way that the Kings are going to pass, the AFC. So they most likely will be in the play-in. So we're just going to see, how that goes. So, like I said, most likely if Phoenix lose tonight, most likely they look like it. They'll probably be eliminated from playoff contention. And you have every single person from 3rd to 10th that will be in some in the playoffs, but the rest 4 will be in the play-in. Dallas lost their last 2, and yeah, because there's no way Dallas or Sacramento is going to end up passing Minnesota or Golden State. So there's no way. So right now it's just a fight between the 3rd seed all the way through the 8th. So yeah, it's that tough. Then you got that's out of there Phoenix. Then you got Portland, San Antonio, New Orleans, and Utah, both eliminated from playoff contention. And I think, yeah, Utah got the worst record in the NBA, and plus losing their last 9, the worst streak in the West, and of course Philadelphia just the worst losing streak overall. So without further ado, we're gonna do this drinking game, and like I said, got my White Claw. It is non-alcoholic, just to let y'all know, just in case y'all think that going back on the drinking. Okay. So the video we will watch first will be the Send Kuzma Home. So this probably gonna end up being like a lot of drinking. The way he just hate Kyle Kuzma, and plus some reason he's probably gonna end up mentioning Chris Middleton at one point. So let's just go with it and go from there and see what happens. Of course, Thunderbolts. And Sinners maybe, but oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I did heard of them. Oh, I thought they said which movies you were gonna go see, so.
It's been a season with some depressing moments, and continuing on throughout, seeing the results of Kyle Kuzma being traded for a 35 and 30, 40.
Oops.
And continuing on throughout, seeing.
He did mention Kuzma, so everybody take a drink. And it looks like he's gonna be on the verge of mentioning Chris Middleton. So
Seeing the results of Kyle Kuzma being traded for a first-round pick swap, AJ Johnson and Chris Middleton.
yay! He finally mentioned Chris Middleton. I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, drink up, everybody, and let me just widen this screen.
Boy, is that depressing, but there's a lot of times where it's easy to forget about it when you see the greatness of stinking Giannis, who currently, I mean, Egg Yolk in the past week dropped a 60-point triple-double, so I can't be mad at anybody that still has him as the best player in the league, but in this moment, there is nobody doing it on both ends to the level of the freakiest Greek. 36, 15, and 10.
Yeah.
This level that Giannis is at right now, it's up there with any point of his career since Dame has gone out for the Bucks, and it's mostly been a one-man team as of late. But today, it went from a one-man team, and KPJ said, the Heat are like kind of a competitive team. They're without Hero, they're without Wiggins, but they're not like who did the Bucks just beat? The Sixers. So he's gonna need a little tiny bit of help, and I'll make it a two-man team now. And KPJ comes in, flame-throwing, knock it down a couple threes, 12 rebounds, getting to loose balls, 8 dimes, 24 points, 12 and 8 off the bench. I mean, he got 40 minutes, but still, KP, can't forget the J.
And don't forget it was overtime.
J, which at this point, something I talked about at the beginning of the game before we knew Kuzma would be as awful as he was. Shout out to Doc for at least benching him fourth quarter and overtime. But at this point, knowing Kyle Kuzma had the worst on-off numbers on the worst team in the league, shooting 28% from the...
Mention Kuzma again. Drink up.
42 from the field, 65 from the free throw line. And seeing how, as soon as he left the Wizards, they've been almost a 500 team. Seeing that now he has the worst on-off numbers on the Bucks, still shooting poorly. On the overall season, he's ranked 242nd out of 257 players in terms of assist-to-turnover ratio. It's basically just 1-to-1. And with all that being said, with him throwing at the side of the backboard 3 times today, 1 time at the top of the backboard, and basically doing it like 2 or 3 times a game, it's just sunk cost fallacy that's keeping him playing significant minutes for this team. Like, he's clearly a liability on the floor, but he's still starting because he's going to get paid $23 million next year, and like I said, we give him a
$21
first-round
million.
pick, Chris Middleton, and a first-round pick swap.
Mention Chris Middleton again. Ain't that something? I would never thought he would mention him twice. Then again, Chris Middleton is his favorite player, so I'm sorry, but who got the better fit out of that deal? I would say both teams, because you got AJ Johnson that is balling out of his mind. Then you got Chris Middleton, which is out for the rest of the season and was out since the beginning of the month. So, like I said, once again, who got the better pickup? And but you know, it wasn't a pick swap. They got the Bucks pick swap, but the Bucks ended up getting this year's second round pick, which I found out it was number 47. So yeah, because what they said is like the Bucks may end up getting I forgot his name, Troche, yeah, I can pronounce his last name, but I forgot his first name. I can't believe I forgot about it that fast. But the story was on Instagram, and I did see that. So, but then again, it's like looking once again like, why do we even need another guard? Like, if we end up keeping, you know, the same like roster and stuff like that we do now, but maybe, you know, they'll decide, you know what, we'll trade away Pat Connaughton. And we'll resign Gary Trent Jr., resign Ryan Rollins, resign. I think Kevin Porter got a player option, so now I think excuse me. I think it's either a team option or a player option. But if it's a team option, most likely the Bucks will keep it. AJ Green, no, he ain't going nowhere. But yeah, but I am liking Pat Connaughton as of late. So yeah, I think he probably just learned, from like his own mistakes and like trying to be like a better player. So he probably just knew that he had to change his game a little bit, and as of late, yeah, it's been improving. So I do give Pat Connaughton that. So, but although he's playing great right now, and of course, he's hurt with his I think he had an ankle injury after this Heat game. But I wouldn't be upset if they decide trade him, or I wouldn't be upset, or I won't be like be like happy or anything like that if they decided just trade away Pat Connaughton and try to get somebody better. But Jericho Sims, they really need to keep him and sign him, because I know he's a free agent. So hopefully the Bucks were smarting up on that one. So let's hope.
To go get him, to where I think they're just stubbornly still throwing him out there and still starting him. But there is no way, like at some point, the sunk cost fallacy has to end, and you have to just do what's best for the team, which is maybe playing him a few minutes sparingly off the bench. But in general, overall, it's clearly backed up by the numbers on the Wizards and the Bucks. Whatever numbers you want to look at, shooting percentage, 3-point percentage, true shooting percentage, free throw percentage, assist to turnover ratio, on-off numbers, net rating. Like, it doesn't matter what number you look at. Watch the game, throw him at the side of the backboard. Like, he's just terrible. He's the worst player in the league. To where there's been debates on Twitter of like,
oh God, worst player in the league. Cause you going by numbers, and and he's not even last in that category that you mentioned. Like whoever's last on that one, although he's on the bottom, but he's not the last one. That's you can say that's the worst player in the NBA. Believe me, I've seen worse. Sean Respert. You pay attention to the Bucks in the '90s. Sean Respert, y'all probably even know who he is. If y'all don't, look him up. Bucks did drafted him, and I think it was like '97, I believe. And he was noticed for being a great 3-point shooter. On that two seasons that the Bucks had him, no good. That's a freebie, but no good at all. So, anyways, look him up.
like KPJ or Rollins in the starting five. Who's supposed to be the one that needs to be taken out of the starting five? The starting five should be.
I'm actually okay with Kyle Kuzma in the starting lineup. Because if y'all look, he does, help is good with like the ball movement, but it's at times when he's taking it from himself, he get good looks, but he I do agree he does do circus shots and stuff like that. It's like, what are you doing? So I agree with that, and I think that's probably happened with something of an injury that he's like kind of scared to focus on on the shots and stuff, or just layup. So this is like I mentioned earlier, he could be as good as Giannis if they work with him on the off season. So if they end up working with him in the off season and he end up being better, that would be good and an improvement. But everybody said that about Dame. They was thinking that was one of his worst seasons in the NBA, which is really not. But for the Bucks wise, for Damian Lillard, last season and this season, he's one of the greatest second options that we have. And Giannis, the best first option. Sorry, but I had to say the best first one over Kareem. Because like I say, only Kareem won't play 5-6 years with the Bucks. But yeah, Giannis played longer, and like an overall player, like a two-way player, can play defense and play offense. And sometimes, his threes will go on, but I'm just glad that he's not shooting as much threes as he normally would. So, attempt 2 or 3 3-pointers a game, and that's it. And yeah, just be happy with that. But I'm sorry, but Kyle Kuzma is not the worst player in the NBA.
KBJ, Ryan Rawls, better call Rawls, Torian Prince, the freakiest Greek, Brokeback Mountain. That's the starting five. And then we can have a debate when Dame comes back. I think it should just be Dame, Rawls.
Though, well, maybe they'll do something different. Maybe if they end up starting Torian Prince over Kyle Kuzma, then they have Kyle Kuzma come off the bench. I'm okay with that. Because I think there's like Torian Prince at times has like some on and off games too, so he's not the only one. But like I said, we did like that Saturday with the steals with 5. That's crazy. Now I think he did it twice. So we can't just say that Kyle Kuzma is the worst player in the NBA, where you got like some players like Torian Prince has like his good games and his bad games. So Kyle Kuzma has some good games, and he has some bad games. That happens with everybody, every player. Especially if you saw like today's game where Giannis only scored like 10 points in all 3 quarters, then scored 12 in the fourth quarter. I think it's like 15 in the fourth quarter. So I done forgot his stats already. No, 12. Yeah, it was 12 because he ended up having 24 points. No, 14. I'm sorry. I just had to recalculate that, so apologize. But I'm sorry, but Kyle Kuzma have his good games, he have his bad games. Like I said, just like any NBA player. So maybe all the numbers says that and stuff like that this year. But there are some games that he has some good games. It's just like you just choose to ignore it because you're looking at his stat numbers, and sometimes stat numbers ain't always telling what the person did in one game, like or two games. Like might had like 3. Let's see, he probably had like I know he had a lot of good games and some bad games. I understand that, but exactly 9 points ain't that bad. 5 points in a game, and this is crazy, but the amount of minutes that Rollins had played, and I just think it's just not enough. But I understand why they, have, Kevin Porter Jr. end up playing, that amount of minutes because he was hot at that time. And there was times Ryan Rollins was hot too. Like I said, although he only had 5 points at that game, but 2 or 3 from field goal, 1 or 1 from 3 is actually not that bad. It's just he just don't get enough opportunities, and I think he deserves more opportunities. Like with great of a shooter he is, but some people look past that. And yeah, I was upset with this. Andre Jackson Jr. only played 3 minutes, although Sunday's game he played only 6. Then today, play absolutely nothing. How you not gonna play one of your best defenders in it on the team? I don't get that. I really don't.
Rollins, Torian Prince, Giannis, Brokeback Mountain, KPJ the 6th man. He could come off and when he's playing like this, get 40 minutes off the stinking bench, get 35 minutes off the bench. But like, let him be a little wild card for teams to not know what to expect, coming off the bench. But yeah. So for this game, basically, it's a team that's not very good that the Bucks are going against. Like I said, no Hero. They're 35 and 43. No Wiggins, missing their first and third best players. But the Bucks squeak out in overtime because Giannis is playing like the best player in the world, and Kevin Porter Jr. has a masterclass off the bench, and then a little bit of help from other guys. Like Kuzma lost. I don't care if the Bucks won. I mean, we lost by 15 while he was out there, and even that got stamp-headed at the end.
Say Kuzma,
when
drink
he
up.
got put in, and Giannis threw it to Brook Lopez for a dunk. But either way, lost by 15 while he was out there, so he lost. But I mean, Torian Prince, and because 4 of 13 and 163 and only 2 rebounds. Torian Prince, the plus minus wasn't great, but mostly just because he played with Kuzma for those minutes. But he had a big tough bucket at the end, 5 rebounds, 5 steals. he did enough to help. There were some times where he fell asleep defensively, but he made up with that with 5 steals. Brokeback Mountain, again, sometimes where Bama Adebayo was giving it to him, but closed out with 2 big buckets at the end, finished with 17. Yep. He could say he won. He did enough to help. Ryan Rollins, I don't like how quickly they cut his minutes. I mean, he's 22 years old.
I agree.
Play him through it, not Kuzma through it.
I do agree.
14 minutes wasn't great, but I don't know. I felt like he could have been played through it a little bit more. Connaughton, didn't really understand why he'd been getting minutes as of late because he'd been getting cooked on defense and his 3-point shots lost him, but he's always a good decision maker, and when he can hit a 3, hit a tough one at the end of the shot clock and not be a liability defensively. Today he didn't get exposed on defense. He could be a big help for the Bucks. He makes it easier for Giannis when he's out there. He just knows how and when and where to get him the ball. So if he could keep playing like this, keep playing him because he could be a real winning player for the Bucks. Gary couldn't hit a thing, but I mean, I guess that happens. You can't expect too much from him. He's
exactly.
Just heat check guy off the bench, 3-point shooting guy.
Like the same thing you saying about Kyle Kuzma should be the same thing I'm saying about Gary Trent Jr. Like, there's players that had their on and off switch. Like, I think I mentioned this like a while back with Brandon Jennings. Like, he has an on and off switch as well. Like, the one game he's good, then the next game he just off. Ooh, that was a nice dunk. Like I said, he's on and off. I think that's what like Kuzma is, like on and off, but can really have one good game. Like same name with Gary Trent. Although he's off at this game, but there's other games that he does pretty well. So it's just really I gotta look at that. He was 0-4, but only 1-7 from the field. Yeah, but still have a decent plus minus with +6. So, if you're gonna get criticism to just only one player, you gotta get criticism to the rest of the players as well. Like, I'm always criticizing Giannis for not passing as much as he should. But like I said, as of late, he's doing good, and like when he gets like triple doubles like this, Bucks win games. So it's just really he needed to start trusting his team. And Damian Lillard, I think it's got to be a little bit of the same thing, but because he has an on-off switch. Like one game he does like his best, then the next game this just goes down. So it's like both ways. Don't just criticize one, but criticize like other players that's not doing good. So just got to be fair.
Shooting guy. Alfredo has been picking up big time as of late. 3 of 5, knocked down both his threes, and just whenever he's out there, he opens up things for other people because he just draws the defense. 1 by 19, best plus minus on the team.
Yep.
Not a coincidence. And generally, his plus minus is pretty good, even when he doesn't play that well, because he helps when he's out there. He makes fine decisions. He's not a liability on defense, and he draws the defense. So I would say outside of Gary and Kuzma, everybody played somewhat of a role, but really the impact was from KPJ and Giannis. And it does worry me that you needed, a bunch of guys to have decent contributions, like Connaughton to play well. You needed, like AJ Green, like you needed a bunch of positive contributions, and you needed KPJ masterclass and a Giannis masterclass to win, squeak it out on the road against the Heat, who are the 10th seed, without their best player and their third best player. That worries me, but at the same time, Bobby's about to come back. Dame, there's hope that he could come back, and Jericho might be back up for the playoffs too. So
yeah,
it's not like the Bucks are fully healthy either. But even so, going against the Heat, not fully healthy, would like to be able to take care of them with a little bit more ease. But Giannis and KPJ, master stinking class. Let me know what you all think. Drop a comment, hit that like, and subscribe if you want to do.
Okay, now we're gonna go to his. Okay, he did just put up today's. We'll do that another time, but we are gonna do the game before that one, which is the Pelicans one. So look, I overcame Kuzma. Oh god, this is great. So Okay, let's play that. And we're gonna be, done for the day. So, which of these brands have you seen online via advertising for recently? Um, Macy's and Amazon.
So the Bucks without Giannis, Dame, Bobby, Jericho, and Pat Connaughton are able to squeak it out against the Pelicans without DeJounte Murray, Brandon Boston, Jordan Hawkins, CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson, Jose Alvarado, Trey Murphy, Kelly Olynyk, Herb Jones. So the Bucks are able to squeak it out against a real G League team where they only have two kind of NBA players out there, really, and Bruce Brown and Yves Missi, the rookie. Where for the Bucks, without four solid players, 4 or 5 solid pieces, but still some real NBA players, and so we're able to squeak it out in the end. So,
I forgot Kyle Kuzma did score good in this game, and don't have the lowest plus minus, which I know he might end up pointing that up at one point. So that's why you enjoy the drinking game. But moving on.
honestly, at this point in the season, where you need anyone you can get, with the Bucks being all down on these guys on the road, gonna take the W any way you could get it, and a lot of positive contributions today. Lil Gare came out with what was it? I think 18 in the first quarter, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or was it 18 in the first half?
Yeah, first half.
He was 18 in the first half. He had like 15 in the first quarter, something like. He came out cooking right away. Is the point? As he got the start today and finishes with 20.
I apologize, guys, but just give me a moment. I will be right back. Looks. Apologize, guys. I'm back, so let me try to sit right. Okay. I'm sorry, Libby. Okay. So, okay, still alive. Yep, and let's replay.
29, Brokeback Mountain, showing a very nice rookie, Yves Missi, a guy that before the draft I wanted the Bucks to draft, didn't get the chance to.
Right.
But
yeah, and that's like another story itself. Like Bucks, hoping they would have to tune to get one of the centers, but everybody wanted a center that can run, shoot, and defend. And this past draft class was that good example of that. Why they didn't go for like another center, but then again, they did get Tyler Smith, so that's a bonus. But Doc is just not playing them, especially in this situation. But I'm glad they did use like Pete Nance to play him to that game on Sunday, because you needed another backup big. But then again, it's like, who's going to be your backup big and all that stuff? And I'm glad Bobby Portis is back, so I am happy with that. But just at that time, when he was out and Jericho Sims got injured, like, what you gonna do? What Doc didn't even try to give Tyler Smith or Pete Nance at the time a chance until that point. It's just silly. It just really is.
That was the number one guy I wanted in the draft. I thought he would have been a good third big man and kind of play what Jericho Sims' role is now. And,
Yep.
I mean, he had 18 and 12 on Brook Lopez, but Brokeback Mountain showed him what a veteran big man looks like, giving him 20 and 12, but also 4 blocks to go with it, and we won by 8 when he was out there. Don't know why I was looking at my...
I don't know why Brook Lopez can't rebound like that all the time. It seems like it may not be like you have no choice but to he probably just had no choice but to rebound because he was like the only big man that can gotta do that. But then again, Kevin Porter Jr. Yep, he rebounded, and Pete Nance 5 rebounds for 14 minutes is not that bad. But maybe if he would play a little bit longer, he may have had 7 or 8. Who knows? But I don't know. Doc got to do better. I don't blame him for coaching today, today's game, but just some of these other games is just what are you doing?
Looking at my phone for the stats are right up on the screen. Anyway, outside of that, Kevin Porter Jr. off to a rough start today, was 1 of 7, but then after that, if my math is correct, he was 7 of 11 after that, 3 of 5 from 3, which is just shocking how well he continues to shoot from downtown. I think he was 23% from 3 before he joined the Bucks, and I guess right now we got him at the perfect time where his numbers were just bound to turn around because 23%, which is way too low. He's always been a little below average from 3, but he's never been an awful 3-point shooter. But now he's 42% from 3 coming in today, and after today's performance, he's probably going to be 43, 44% from 3. Outside of that, I mean, it was just another game where, sorry to the 2 Kuzma defenders that are still...
Say Kuzma. I may be a Kuzma defender, but I'm not an idiot. It's just like I said. Call him out when he has good games and call him out when he has bad games. You ain't got to throw the man, stats or something just to prove that he's the worst player in your opinion in the Bucks, NBA, which he's not. Like I said, everybody's gonna have their on and off games, so we just got a player like Giannis, a once of a generational player that is most of his games he's on. He got an on switch. Then there are some games, a few, that has an off switch. I'm just saying, don't just call Kyle Kuzma off. Call everybody else out too. It's just silly. Like I said, young generation.
Somehow left. I really just think they're just Chris Middleton haters that have somehow translated into that.
Yep, he said Chris Middleton. I didn't think he was going to say it, but of course he is going to say Chris Middleton haters. Oh my Lord. Dude. I know some of us saying Chris Middleton should be traded sooner, but it was actually, I think they should have traded him last season, but this season could have been more than perfect for trading Chris Middleton. Because, he's out for the rest of the season with the same knee injury that has bothered him for the last 4 years. So, I'm sorry to say this, but I think, next season, if Chris Middleton's accept that player option, that's it for him. He's done. No more. Chris Middleton, I'm sorry, he needs to retire. Because like I said, if you're not that much of an athletic person and you're not going to be able to have your injuries heal as quickly as a person that's very athletic. Of course, I'm not mean you can run and all that stuff, but it's if real athletic, you can get a lot of rebounds and stuff like that, and of course, shooting is one thing. You gotta be, able to, jump to shoot the 3 and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, but you can call me a Chris Middleton hater all you want. But like I said, I don't hate Chris Middleton. But it was just that time. It was just time for Chris Middleton to go. Like I said, last season I would have done it. Cause how you gonna say Chris is like one of the best shooters in the game, but he only if y'all cause I did a video where I showed y'all his stats. He don't talk about, that's the thing. He can talk about Kyle Kuzma's stats, but he doesn't talk about Chris Middleton's stats. He's only talk about the games that Chris Middleton did well in, but don't look at his stats. He only had like 3 seasons where he only scored like 20 points a game. Otherwise it'd been like 19, 18, or like his lowest this season was like 13. And the season before that, it was 15. So shit, yeah, he had his on and off games, but still. Like, and I'm grateful that he helped us get, the championship, but I think I always say this, but you can't act like that the dude is a savior for the Bucks. And I know he's gonna mention, the playoffs that Chris Middleton had last season, but the point is, did we get out of the first round how he played? No. Because it's not just one player. It's got to be a team game. Like I said, generations before me, I'm going to say, like, my generation, it was Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant for, like, the 90s and the 2000s. It was like people want to be like Jordan. People want to be like Kobe, but they don't know, like, the physical game. All they do is, dribble and shoot. So, yeah, so all generations like had it bad, but I think this generation, I'm not including my son because I think he's a better person than some of these peoples in this generation that's out there now. But I'm sorry, but Barrett is like living proof that he's just like not a. But then again, like I said, all generations we have people like this. And it just proves like, this trend is not going to die. Probably the next generation will be maybe worse than him or anything like that. So it's like one of those things. It's just a wait and see.
That to acting like Kuzma's good. But again, just another game where we have to overcome.
Say Kuzma.
We just have to destroy the teams when he's not on the floor. Because even in the games we win, almost every time, we're negative with him on the floor. We're now... Since he's become a Buck, the minutes that he's played, the Bucks have lost by 34. The minutes that he hasn't played, the Bucks have won by 109 points. If my math is correct, that's 145. Wait.
Dumbass. They still won. They still won that game. And like I said, with today's game, like he had like 10 points. That's still a double-digit number. You ain't got like Torian Prince that, did not have a good game in that game either, for only like 3 points. It's like he go on to the people that he doesn't like, but when it's like people that's doing bad that he does like, don't criticize them. Like, seriously.
I think that's 143 point swing. The Bucks have been 143 points better when he goes to the bench. And it's just not a coincidence. I mean, even today we made some transition layups and ended up with 17 points. He had 4 turnovers. It should have been like 5 or 6. They were letting him get away with travels left and right. Like, that dude is taking 3-4 steps going to the rim. And just his decision-making, his lack of defense, falling asleep on defense consistently.
Okay, defense and it's okay. I'm not saying it's horrible, like he's saying it. And yeah, like I do point out that Kyle Kuzma does have problems with his decision making. But I'm sorry, but this number 8 or 13, like his decision making on certain games is not that bad. I think it's come to when, with real pressure on him. And I think that's what it is. He's just got like pressure because like, and plus he used to just being, that number 1 option for the Wizards. So that's something he probably gonna end up have to change, this offseason. That knowing that he don't have to be the number 1 option, he's gonna be either the number 3 option or the number 4 option. So there's nothing wrong with that. But According to him, it is.
Like, that would have been a double-digit win if they sat him too. Honestly, they should have just given him the rest. But I mean, the Bucks were able to go on a 13-0 run as soon as he went to the bench in the fourth quarter to take the lead and end up winning, and that ended up being the story of the game. Just basically having to destroy them when the non-Kuzma minutes, where the 18 minutes he didn't play, the Bucks.
Kuzma again. Drink up. And I gotta plug this right quick because I think the other phone is about to die, so... Oh yeah, no, that's the wrong one. Here we go. This is the right one. So, y'all give me a second. You might see some light movements, so just bear with me. There we go. I'm fine with that. Just let it charge. Okay. So, let's continue.
The Bucks won by 9. Outside of that, AJ Green, nothing crazy off the bench, but always
he was okay. Yeah,
had the best plus minus on the team because just that type of shooting gravity helps out the Bucks in the spacing. Andre Jackson, I think he's better than Kuzma, but today he had the even only worse plus minus than Kuzma.
Come on, Libby.
And his defense.
Come on, try again.
Not his defense. His offense is like, bro, you're afraid to shoot layups and wide open threes, yet you are fully confident doing unnecessary behind the back, around the back dribbles, and I just can't stand that stuff.
Watch out the way. Let her get through.
If it came down to it. And then Peter.
Sorry, guys. Go ahead, Libby. Go ahead. Leave her alone, Ivy.
Nance getting 14 minutes. A guy that's ineligible to receive minutes in the playoffs. Over Tyler Smith. A guy who played on Matas Buzele's G League team and arguably had better numbers than Buzeles. He was more efficient than him. He had pretty good numbers in the G League. He's 6'9", 6'10", can hit a 3, athletic, plays hard. And for whatever reason, even against the super young G League team of the Pelicans, couldn't been given minutes from Doc Rivers over Peter Nance.
Well, okay. I somewhat agree that, they should have played, Tyler Smith, another 6'10", 6'11", so some places got him at 6'11", so, and other places got him 6'10", 6'9", so don't even know what to believe at the moment with his height, but I just saw him at one point and it looked like he almost as tall as Giannis, so he maybe 6'10" and a half. So let's just say 6'10" and a half. But still not that bad. And Pete Lance is 6'10". It was you got to use one of these big men to get Brook Lopez and Giannis some rest off the center position. Although it sucks that it took now for Doc to do that. So it's just like I said, Doc does have some questionable coaching, which I know everybody does not like, and I understand it too. So it's not you can complain about it all you want, but it depends. What are they gonna do with that situation?
Oh, you heard me?
Yes, I did. No, that's fine. That was the wife, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, people.
Oh, God.
The same Doc Rivers who could never find any type of minutes for A.J. Johnson, who's now playing pretty sticky well for the Wizards when he gets a chance. Still not perfect, but enough to say, hey, at least when guys are injured, you could give them some minutes. And for Doc, when Jericho's out, when Bobby's out, and Giannis is out, still refuses to play Tyler Smith any minutes.
I agree.
But Kuzma, who had the worst on-off numbers for the Wizards, the worst on...
Drink up. He said it again.
I'm just glad you don't drink alcohol anymore. You be drunk.
I probably would be drunk every time you mention Kuzma or Chris Middleton.
Does he
from all his tip riding. So probably so. But it's just like I was saying, like on this game this past Sunday, that Kuzma did good, and he still complains. Like his, plus minus is a -5, but you got Andre Jackson Jr. Although he didn't play enough, have a -7. You had Pete Nance, that's a -4. So he just gotta stop. He just really does gotta stop.
Worse on-off numbers for the Bucks. Continues to get 30-plus minutes a night. Just wild. Outside of that, Ryan Rollins almost threw the game at the end. There was like 15 seconds to go. The Bucks were up 6, and he just threw up a floater. Then they hit a 3 and ended up being a 3-point game. And then Gary missed a free throw to where really got the heart beating for a second. So that was like some Kuzma level dumb stuff. But outside of that, he actually
Kuzma
was
again,
okay.
drink up.
He was actually good outside of that. 5 of 15, not great, but I like him being aggressive outside of that one shot. And flirted with a triple-double, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, was a plus 11 out there. For me, I would start him going into the playoffs. I said it earlier today. My rotation come playoff time would be something like this. Dame at the 1, Rollins at the 2, Torian Prince at the 3. Rollins and Torian Prince, like, they might get, maybe would just play them 20 minutes, but I would start them during the game and see how they do. Because I like Torian Prince catch and shoot threes and Ryan Rollins out there with Dame and Giannis.
I might be the negative Nancy for him, but doesn't matter. I will still put Kyle Kuzma at the 3 regardless. Because although, it's plus minus like -5, but there will be some games he will be doing very good. And okay, if I end up running out something to drink, I still got my flavor water on the side here. So yeah, but it's,
The way he goes off is the same way as in Halloween, where they go,
evil dies tonight. Right. Well, if y'all familiar with Halloween Kills, like you got people saying evil dies tonight, and they did this game like we're kind of doing now. That every time
it was said.
Yep, a shot every time when they say evil dies tonight.
I counted it 37 times.
37 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll be dead.
See, somebody will be drunk off their mind and probably pass out in the middle of the floor.
I'll be dead.
Yeah, especially if we, with this game we playing right here, do like 2 videos and you mention, Kuzma or Middleton, you'll be drunk off your butt too. So, it's just insane that, the hatred for this guy, and they think people like have a hatred for Chris Middleton. No, it's not a hate. It's just like we know when his time is up. And it's time, to do something about it. So they finally did, and you're not happy? Well, too bad. It's like I wasn't happy when Ray Allen got traded, but I moved on. And with his success, outside the Bucks, Ray Allen ended up getting 2 championships. So it was better move for him. But I think he would have at least won 1 with the Bucks if he would have stayed. But we had a owner, nothing against Herb Cole, but Herb Cole has like a system when it comes to players. Want to get the ones with the clean cut and stuff like that, and not judging them by talent, but just judging them by how they look. So, but then again, oh hey, what's going on, Michael? But and plus we had a crappy GM in Ernie Gunfield. And I never liked him in the beginning, and he didn't do that much well either when he was a GM of the Wizards. So I don't even know what he's doing now. He's probably not even doing anything. Yeah, I remember you, Michael. But just truthfully, like bad GM, and you get and he gets upset with this Jimmy Haslam guy that now owns the Bucks and owns the Cleveland Browns, which I guess is showing that he doesn't care about the Cleveland Browns. So I can't even judge that, although, Cleveland Browns as of late, been like up and down. But he just took over ownership this year from not West Elms, but Mark Lazary. So it's just like one of those things, like you just gotta really see what he does this off season. And since you got mad because he did like maybe had the decision like with the trade deadline that you're not happy with, but he's not just one person. There's other owners of the Bucks you should be pointing fingers at besides Jimmy Haslam. It's like he's one of the majority owners, but West Indies is also a majority owner as well. And with Mark Lazary, they brought the team. So you can't just point like finger at one place. Like I know it's easier to people like point fingers when it comes to like Doc Rivers, which his proven record, which I understand that. But I was one of those people. It's half a season, so whatever happens, we'll see. But like the first full season of him is almost complete, and I can just say it's like ups and downs with Doc. But like today, he did very good, coaching wise, and with Sunday's game, like I do agree with him that Tyler Smith should have played. You got to like play some young guys to have them get experience. Then they end up getting better, like in years' time. But as people telling you about Doc, that he doesn't play the young guys. Now I guess it's proven that when he was with the Boston and let's see the Clippers, and I wouldn't say he did that in Philadelphia because he ended up starting like Tyrese Maxey with his first 2 years in the NBA. So I guess it's one of those things you just gotta pick and choose.
And then Giannis at the 4, Brokeback Mountain at the 5, Bobby KP/KPJ 6th, 7th man, Gary, AJ Green 8th, 9th man, and like basically everybody besides Giannis and Dame, all of those other guys in that 9-man rotation, they could all their minutes could vary greatly. Like the 9th man, 1 game could give me 33 minutes, and like starting Ryan Rollins might give me 15 minutes one game. It would depend game by game. But that's how I would stagger my rotation. And then Jericho Sims is the 10th man, ready to maybe take big minutes in a game where Brook Lopez is too slow and getting exposed. And then in games where Brook Lopez is solid, not playing him at all. And so that would be my rotation. Ryan Rollins goes to the bench today, which I could definitely justify.
Which we are glad you're not a coach or a GM in the NBA. So, because using your best players is going to be horrible, but you can try to use like some young talent and see what they do. I don't know, just some people just don't think.
I would start definitely Kevin Porter Jr. with Giannis out. The only thing maybe I would have done differently would have been still bringing Gary Trent Jr. off the bench, but that probably would have been the wrong call. Gary Trent Jr. ended up with 29 points today, so I can't be mad at that decision. Seems like a good decision to change the starting 5. When Giannis comes back, if Dame's still not back, I would just personally move Kuzma to the bench and have Kevin Porter Jr., Ryan Rollins, Torian Prince, Giannis, and Brokeback Mountain. But that's just me. Let me know what you want.
Yeah, that's just you.
Drop a comment, hit that like.
He right, because that's just you. Not everybody else is thinking that. Only you. But it's just like you probably gonna see like his videos over the years, and he'll probably will end up getting way better than what he's doing now. Because okay, we were that young, we were that passionate, but some of us have sense when it comes, talking about the NBA and stuff like that, and some of us do not have no sense at all. And I'm sorry, but he's one of them that doesn't have that much of a sense. don't know like the team's history and things like that. And I know there's still things I still need to learn about the Milwaukee Bucks, but probably gonna take one day in the summer. Oh yeah, I got that book, so I can always reread that book again. So forgot I had that book. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I could ramble on about with Barrett all night, but I know some of us ain't got the time, and I don't want to waste y'all time. Going on and like talk about it like all night. So, but anyways, let's say thank you guys that's watching through Twitch. Thank you for your support, and please follow us on either WFSO or WFSO 2 channel. So check us out. Thank you guys for YouTube. Like I said, like and subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Hopefully we get there. Also, over 2,500 videos and counting. So maybe some content you might like not just like talking about the Bucks, but also talking about wrestling, comic book movies and TV news, and developments that's going on in Milwaukee. So right now it's just kind of a little bit slow, but yeah, we will try to work something in. So we'll see. Maybe tomorrow when we do After Dark, we will squeeze like some of that stuff in there. So it's like a wait and see. But anyway, check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com with upcoming events in the Midwest. My friend got a show this Friday, so if y'all in the Milwaukee area, go check it out. It's Slam Championship Wrestling at the bar on 60th and Burnham. It's right on the corner. I think the show starts at 7:30, I believe. And his guest would be none other than OVW star Eric Surge. So y'all get a chance, check that out if you're in the area. So try to support wrestling. But point being that like I said, check out the website. Of course, upcoming events, photos that we took, pictures either with wrestlers or at Bucks events or at wrestling events, and some other interesting stuff that's on there as well. So please check out the website. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Until the next video, you guys have a good one, and well, have a good night too. So see you later. Good night, everybody.